Okay, a very good afternoon, dear students. So, we'll start with the lecture now. So, if you can recall in the previous lecture, that is yesterday, we have seen the difference between public key cryptography and private key cryptography. And we have seen how the public key cryptography has been developed and what were the two main issues that were the reasons behind the development of public key cryptography. So, just a quick recap, I will let you know. So, public key cryptography means also asymmetric key cryptography, modern cryptography. Why it is called so? Because there are two keys that are used for the process of encryption and decryption. Two keys means there is two different keys. Okay, one key is called as the public key, second key is called as the private key. Whereas in the private key cryptography, which you can see on the slide right now, there is only one key. If you see, there is only one key, and the same key is shared by both the sender and the receiver. There are no two keys. Okay, and now why was this public key cryptography developed? So it was developed to address two key issues, that is the key distribution. So key distribution means what? If I'm going to use the same key to lock, okay, and the same key is used by the receiver, okay, sender and the receiver is using both the key, so how is the key to be distributed? So कैसे शेयर करेंगे वो की, या फिर वो की कैसे उसके हाथ में देंगे? अगर एक ही की देर कर रहे, अगर की शेयरिंग का प्रॉब्लम है, इसीलिए टू ओवरकम दैट दिस की डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इशू पब्लिक की क्रिप्टोग्राफी वाज डेवलप्ड. नाउ तो was this that कि पब्लिक की क्रिप्टोग्राफी डेवलप करने के बाद की डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का इशू सॉल्व हुआ क्या? No, not completely. The things became more complicated. Okay. Now the second thing was to address the issue of digital signatures. Now digital signatures का मतलब भी I have discussed yesterday. How to verify a message which is being sent? It comes from the same user that it is claimed. Okay, so if what is the guarantee that there is a message that you have got, but what is the surety that the message that you have received in your inbox on your phone is from that particular person only? Guarantee nahi hai. Okay, it is not sure. Therefore, to overcome that problem, the public key cryptography has come up with the digital signatures. Okay, so how to verify a message comes from the intact claim user. So public key cryptography addresses this issue. Okay, so now to just for your information, so it was a public invention by Diffie and Hellman. So Whitefield Diffie and Martin Hellman at Stanford University in 1976. Okay, so very quick, I'll just recall a public key, which is also called as two key. Asymmetric key cryptography involves use of two keys. So now public key, which is known to anybody and can be used to encrypt the message. Always keep this in mind. Whenever we are using public key cryptography, that is two key cryptography, the public key is always used to encrypt the message. Whereas the private key is only known to the recipient and it is used to decrypt the message and also sign, that is create signatures. Okay. It is asymmetric because those who encrypt message or verify signatures cannot decrypt message or create signature. Okay, so this was the diagram that we have seen yesterday. Okay, where we can see that there are two persons involved over here. Okay, and the communication is to be done with Alice. So what happens in this case? Every user has a pair of keys, and his public key, he keeps it in this public ring. Okay, and that public key, which is public, is used for encryption. Okay, and when the person wants to read the message, he uses his private key for decryption. Okay, so therefore there can be a question like for decryption one uses his public key, true or false? No, then the answer is false, because whenever a person wants to decrypt, he will always use his private key. Okay, so now the most important thing what are we going to learn today is we are going to understand the very first algorithm. Okay, so which is called as the public key cryptography algorithm. And yesterday we saw a overview of this algorithm. That is, overview means just an introductory glimpse of this. So with respect to private key cryptography, we have already learned in detail, discussed in detail about the DES algorithm, which is data encryption standards. So now on the similar strategy approach, we are going to learn today what is the algorithm for performing public key cryptography and its history. So the very first thing is the algorithm that we are going to study for public key cryptography is called as the RSA. Now, why is this algorithm called as RSA? So this is after the name acronym stands for the three people who have jointly developed this. So the first one is Rivest, that is Ron Rivest, okay, then Shamir, and then Adelman. Okay, so it is RSA stands for Rivest Shamir Adelman of MIT. This is not MIT Kothrud, this is MIT of America. Okay, so it was done in 1977. So now, this is the best known and widely used public key scheme. Now, what is this based on? So this is based on exponential in finite field over integers modular a prime. Okay, so obviously there is lot of mathematics or a kind of mathematics that is involved in over here. So I am going to just tell you the process for it, and it uses large integers, that is 1024 bit of integers. And security, what about the security? So security, due to the cost of factoring large numbers, it provides security. Okay, so first we are going to understand this setup. Now we have seen in the DES, okay, because DES was using only one key, how the plain text was getting encrypted and it was getting complex and complex, right? So here that is not the case, because here we are using two keys. So now the question is, who will generate the keys, or how will the keys be generated? Okay, so here you have to generate pair of two keys, right? So how the keys will be generated? Exactly. So this RSA algorithm firstly proposes the key generation setup. Okay, so how to generate these two keys? One is the public key and the private key. Like in Julius Caesar cipher, we used only one key. Okay, that one key was fixed. So for encryption, we used that is +3. For decryption, we used -3. But that was very easy because we were using only one key. Now, here the case is not so. So therefore, the key generation setup is what one needs to understand. So I want everyone to just write down whatever is present on the screen. I hope everyone has written down. So what is this key generation setup? We'll talk about it. So the RSA key setup, okay, it's a lot of mathematical part that is used here. So first we will understand the steps. So what is the first step? Here, each user, okay, so if there are n number of users in communication, okay, fine. So for every user, there will be a public key and a private key. Okay, this together is called as the key pair. Now, how will this key pair be generated? So first you have to start by selecting two large prime numbers. Okay, so the two large prime numbers have to be selected at random. Now, at random, the two large prime numbers that are selected are P and Q. Okay, after that, when you select two random numbers, that is P and Q, compute the system modulus. Okay. So what is the system modulus? It is given by N is equal to P dot Q. Okay. So just note down the steps. We will be seeing an example also of it. So the two large prime numbers are P and Q. Okay. Then you have to find out N, which is P dot Q. Okay. Then further, you have to find out phi N. Okay. So phi N is given by P minus 1 and Q minus 1. Okay. So after this is done, then you have to once again select a random number, okay, such that it is the encryption key, that is E. So how this value of E has to be there? It should be in such a way that it is less than 1, okay, and greater, sorry, it is less than 1, and obviously it should be again 1 less than E less than phi N. Okay, and here it should be a co-prime. That is, the GCD of E and phi N should be 1. So that is called as the co-prime number. Okay. So once you decide that, solve the following equation to find encryption, that is the find the decryption key D. Okay, so how do you find the decryption key? You already have the encryption key, that is E. So to find the decryption key, that is D, you have to do E dot D is equal to 1 mod phi N. And how it will be? 0 less than D less than N. Okay, then you have two keys generated using this process. So first is the public key, that is PU, which is E comma N, and which is the private key, which is D comma N. You all know that for private you require the decryption, that is why D, and for encryption, okay, that is public, it is put E. So PU is E comma N and private key is D comma N. And what is this N? This N is what you have obtained by the product of P and Q. And what is this P and Q? P and Q are these random prime numbers that you have selected. So I hope you have noted down this entire process. Now we will see the example of this. Okay. So now using this RSA, okay, to encrypt the message M, the sender obtains public key of the recipient. Now till here it was written over here, that is PU is equal to E comma N. Then he computes the cipher text. Okay, how does he compute the cipher text? That is M less than N. So to decrypt the cipher text, the owner uses the you back to the key generation. So first of all, RSA is an asymmetric key cryptography algorithm. It is developed by Rivest Shamir Edelman of MIT in 1977. It is widely used public key scheme. It is a block cipher. It uses large integers. So the first important step here is the key generation setup. And using this key generation, what are we expected to obtain? We get the public key and private key. So the private key is used for encrypting the text, whereas the private key is used for decrypting the text, okay, and the public key is used for encryption of the text. Okay, so how does this work? It works by generating public key and private key, that is the key pair. Okay, so the first step here is, I'm just repeating it because once we go to the example, you should be able to know the steps. So the first step is select two large prime numbers randomly, that is P and Q, then compute N, that is P dot Q, then have that as phi N is equal to P minus 1 and P Q minus 1. Okay, so select a random key, that is E, which should be the co-prime. Okay, co-prime such that you have E less than 1 and less than 5n. Okay, so solve the following equation to find the decryption key, that is D. And what is that equation? E dot D is equal to 1 mod 5n. Okay, then you have the pair of keys. The public key is PU, which is used for encryption, that is E comma N, and the private decryption key is PR, which is D comma N. Okay, so now we will take the example. So what is the first step? Select prime numbers, random prime numbers. Okay, so I want everyone to note down this example. So yeah, the calculations here are directly solved. So I had already told you all the how to find the co-prime numbers. It depends on your previous knowledge, okay, because that requires a quite amount of knowledge. So that we will not be discussing here right now. We will just be computing the steps, okay, for the RSA algorithm. So the first step is select the prime numbers, that is P and Q. So P selected is 17 and Q is 11. Okay, so after this, what is the next step? The next step is to compute N. So what is the formula for N? It is a product of P and Q. So what is it? So 17 into 11, that is 187. Okay. So after that, the third step, if you see here, it is compute phi n. Okay, so select two random numbers. We have selected 17 and 11. Then we have found out the product, that is 17 into 11 is equal to 187. Then we have obtained phi n. So what is this phi n? This phi n is the P minus 1 and Q minus 1. That is, what is P? P is 17. So 17 minus 1, that is 16. And you have Q minus 1, that is 10. So you have got that as 160. Okay. So now what you have to do is select E. Okay. That is such that the GCD of E comma 160, that is phi n, is equal to 1. Okay, here is what you require, some combinations. Okay, just a moment. Okay, so this is the co-prime number, what is required, where what we have seen. So what do? We choose that E to be 7. Okay, we choose that E to be 7. Now what is this E? E is this part of the encryption key. Okay, so what we have selected, we have already by default selected P as P and Q as 17 and 11. Then we have got the product of it. Then we have got 5n. Then the next step is to select the co-prime number such that what is this E? The GCD of E comma 160, that is phi n, is equal to 1. Okay, so then based on this, the next step is to determine D. So how do we determine D? We determine D in such a way that D dot E is equal to 1 mod 160 and it is less than 160. Okay, so randomly again we see that we have obtained on solving D is equal to 23. Okay, now since 23, so how is that possible? Because you need to have the remainder 1. So 23 into 7 is 161 is equal to, that is, when you split this up, you can come to know that it is remaining 1. Okay. So after that, you come to know that the answer, okay, over here, the public key that you get is obviously the combination of D and N. Can you see this? D and N, right? So what is D? And N is 187. And what is the private key? The private key is 23, okay, and 187. Okay, so public key is used for encryption, the private key is used for decryption. So these are the two keys using which you will be performing the encryption and decryption. The part is mathematical. I will just repeat the steps, okay, without going into the details of how the step number 5 is obtained, I that will require a lot of practice from your side. Okay, so once again I will repeat the steps of RSA. So first step is to select the prime numbers. Okay, so here we have selected P and Q, that is 17 and 11 respectively. Then we have computed N, which is P dot Q, that is 17 into 11, 187. We have computed phi N, P minus 1 and Q minus 1, that is 16 into 10 is 160. So moving ahead, we have selected E. Now here also this E is up to us to select. Okay, so for encryption, that E, what is it? GCD is 1. Okay, so we select E as 7. Okay, so we select E as 7. Okay, then finally we determine the D part, that is by the formula D dot E is equal to 1 mod 160, such that D is less than 160. And what is 160? 160 is 5n. After that, we obtain D as 23, and therefore if we have seen here, what is the value of this public key? So public key is E comma N and private key is D comma N. So both these two keys we have obtained for performing encryption and decryption. Okay, so now we will apply this. So what is the given message? The given message is 88. Okay, so for performing the encryption, now what is the encryption? You know encryption, right? Encryption is conversion of plain text to cipher text. Okay, and how are we doing the encryption? We are doing the encryption with public key and we are doing the decryption with private key. So what is the public key? The public key is 7 comma 187. So first 7 comma 187. So what is the encryption process? If you see here, it was written to obtain the encryption we use C M, that is what is the plain text message, E mod N. Okay, this was the formula. So we are just substituting here. So to obtain the cipher text, this was the plain text. This is the encryption key, that is E mod N. Okay, so that is 187, and what we have obtained as the encryption output, it is 11. Now this is by applying the public key. What is the public key? 7 comma 187. Now we are going to decrypt it. So when we want to perform the decryption, what is the decryption? We do it using the private key. So what is the private key that we have obtained? It is 23 comma 187. So what is the cipher text? So it is 11, 11 raised to 23, 23 raised to mod 187. And see this, we have got the plain text, that is 88. Okay, so this is the RSA algorithm, encryption and decryption. Yes, it is quite different from the DES algorithm that we have studied. So I hope you have understood the steps for key generation and performing the encryption and decryption using the keys. Okay, so thank you, dear students.